David Altop, go through the prod key functions as I've been, my involvement on trying to help solve questions, problems. That seems to be an area, prod key, pickups, and so forth, and then try to field some questions. So why don't we let David sort of cover what he's hoping to go over, and then try to take some questions or examples that you might want to offer, and we will have to cut it off at about 9:55, but obviously we can do some follow-up on this. With that, David, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, I'm just going to launch the add order entry screen, prod key option. Obviously, everybody already knows how to fill out the ticket, so our primary concern is that this prod key that is situated right here be clicked before the ad is saved. When you come into the screen, our primary concern be two areas. It's going to be the type, and then it's also going to be this information contained in the other info. Depending on these two choices for these two fields, you may be required to fill out something down here at the bottom where it says pickup number. So there's several different combinations of things. We'll start with the pickup type. Pickup type is going to be none, a straight pickup, pickup with changes or alterations. There's a lot of confusion over what constitutes a pickup with alterations versus a straight pickup. A straight pickup is just that. There is nothing that needs to be changed. The size does not change. The color space does not change. It is literally just going to reprint that ad again. Pretty straightforward. Pickup with alterations, though, depending on how drastically the ad is changing, it may actually be easier to consider it a new ad. So it does require some thought put into it. You know, if you're picking up from a previous ad, is there enough information in the previous ad that justifies or time for the graphic artist to be able to have that component to be used as a template to build your new ad? You know, if depending on how drastic the changes are, if going from a 3-column 6-inch down to a 2-column 4-inch, that may be drastic enough that you might just be better off to submit. That really is a judgment call on a per ad basis. So once you've made, we're going to go through each one of these choices. The first one will be that we're going to do none. So the pickup type is set for none. Now, when you come to the build option, this is the option is whether or not the customer is going to be responsible to give you artwork, AE, or you're going to be responsible to deliver the content to eProofs. Ad drop will send a notification to the customer for the ad to be delivered. Ad drop is considered camera-ready artwork. The only opportunity that they will have to upload something is a PDF. You cannot upload a JPEG. You cannot upload any other format other than a PDF format. Ad drop component, customer is responsible to upload, and they can upload anything that they want. They can upload instructions, documents, zip files, whatever that have the opportunity for them to give you what's necessary to build the ad. There are some cases where we are booking actually
got it.
There are some times that we're actually booking Brainworks system.
Dennis, can we have everyone mute again?
Hello. Okay.
Okay, I just pause for a minute. There are times that we have to book things into Brainworks that we do not want ads being built for. Case in point, we were using Brainworks. We were using Brainworks to actually schedule spaces, booth reservations. Well, we didn't want booth reservations going into AdWatch for Ohio to build or compose, so that's a case where you would choose do not build. In-house build will actually present it to you as a book status, and basically that means that you are responsible to deliver either the camera ready or the components necessary to actually build the ad. The source is strictly what size product that you need to have built. It does not relate to the height. When Brainworks passes the information to the ad tracking piece, the actual inch height is transferred over, so if you choose a 4-inch or you choose a 6-inch, it knows the physical height. What does not pass is the width of the product. So what you're choosing here, when you choose a 6-column, you're basically giving the definition as to how many columns available in a full-size or full-page product, and also what the size of those columns are. So if you choose a 2-column, Media Spectrum will do the math in the background, include the gutter, and deliver the correct ad. So that's why it's critical that you are choosing the right size. If you choose an 8-column, then that is typically our classified display size. 8-column, then the ad will be too small for an ROP section. So at this time, if I was to choose no pickup, in-house build, meaning that I as an AE am going to be responsible to deliver camera-ready or components, and it's a 6-column product, I am now done with the prod key, and I just simply press OK. If this was to be an ad drop, the customer is going to deliver it, I would still need to choose what size document it needs to fit into. So a 6-column ROP, I would just simply choose ad drop, and then the customer would get a notification asking for that information to be uploaded. That, if the run date is the end of the month, they are not going to get notified more than 15 days prior to when the first run date occurs. That could be a problem if you're doing a special section. So you just need to be aware that in some cases, the notification may go out very late to the customer compared to your deadline. So let's say that it hits the street on the 30th, but it clears on the 15th. That would mean that you would actually be almost at the point where the ad drop may not get to the customer in time to deliver it.
And David, that was a change from when this was originally set up, correct? It was 30 days?
It was 30 days, and so I need to verify that. I'm going to make myself a note here to double check that. I want to be cautious because what's happening is they have changed several things in the deadline since the initial training, so I'm going to follow up and we'll get a note out to everybody. I'm just suggesting at this time that when you start using the ad drop that we, especially when it's new for customers, we just want to follow up to make sure that they did receive the email. So as you start using that, make sure you follow up and make sure that it's working as you expect it to work. The purpose of that is that if you're booking an ad that maybe starts in 45 days, sending an email out now for something that starts 45 days from now, the customer's going to forget. Even if they decide not to do it, they put it off for a week, maybe they don't have the sales ready, it can actually be a problem for them as well. And for daily products, it's not an issue, just you have to be careful for special sections because of the deadline versus the actual when it hits the street time. Just be aware of it. Same thing with the ad drop components, it behaves the same way. It just takes them to a different link, and I'll show you the websites in a minute. One, again, is only for a PDF, and the other one is for any kind of component that you would like to upload. If we were to go to straight pickup, you can just default this to in-house build, and then you would choose your source. The source must also match. If the pickup ad that you're picking up from was an 8-column, then it needs to be an 8-column for the new ad. because this would mean that the size is being defined differently than the original ad, so that everything must match. Here's where you'd put in the pickup number. And then at that point, you would just save it, and you're done. The system will automatically, if the ticket number 2345868, if this ticket number has been approved and delivered, then it will pick that ad up automatically and pull it into production. Sometimes what will happen if you're booking 3 ads, and this kind of falls under the pickup with alterations. You book the first ad for the first part of the month. You come in, you'll book it for a Wednesday, first week. Then the second, third, and fourth week, you pick up with changes against that very first ad. What will happen is you will not be available, it will not be available for you to mark up the alterations until the first ad is delivered. So just be aware of that. So you would do the same thing, you do alterations. At that point, you would pick a column definition, you would put in your ticket number that you're picking up against. Again, that ad must be delivered and approved, or else it will not pick it up. That is basically it for that for the prod key. Are there any questions?
Okay, and I had the ability to mute most folks, so let me just unmute and we'll take Q&A from the floor. And I'm just about done unmuting. And there we go. So questions, folks, about the prod key part?
Just a clarification. David, when we do the put the ads in and it's a pickup and it's supposed to deliver it, it's getting hung up a lot that it just says booked when it's a straight pickup.
It's only going to pick up so many days prior to the first run date. So if straight pickup, do you have an example?
I'd have to look at my manifest at my stuff to give you an example right now. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But I booked a straight pickup and it sat and booked, and I have to go. I've been going into Pigeon and asking them to release it so that I can mark it up.
It's been happening a lot to me as well.
I'll have to have specific examples because there are several things that can cause that to occur. I thought
PDC ads are getting hung up like that. They don't get approved until like Tuesday, and they're looking for these pickups for Wednesday or Thursday in some of the weeklies.
Up, but I guess I don't.
I've had a couple occasions where David alluded to, I believe earlier, where you clarify or qualify what you need through Talkanaut on your iPhone or desktop Pigeon, spark it to Danny or whoever, and they pick it up. I had one earlier this week that it doesn't go into the paper until next week, but the client requested to he has to get it approved by a board.